Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, after months of waiting and long debates on the question of who is better suited to bring natural gas to the interior, the Regulatory Commission of Alaska released their findings Friday evening.
But what does this mean for interior residents and our heating costs, and how long will it take? We have more now in this report.
RCA made the announcement a certificate will be awarded to one provider, Interior Alaska Natural Gas Utility, over Fbx Natural Gas, a privately owned company. Mayor Luke Hopkins says the decision is one that will positively help interior residents.
The decision means that our community will now have natural gas service that deals with the cost of our energy. And it goes out across the borough to the extent that the boundaries are set now. This is incredibly important not only for our economy, but for our residents that are going to be receiving this improvement in how they can heat their homes.
IGU is also pleased with the decision and has begun planning for the future, constructing an aggressive 3-year plan with nearly 100 miles of pipe per year.
We're both appreciative and pleased. You know, we are happy with the decision. We have read it. We recognize there's quite a bit of work to be done, and we're, ready to do it.
Officials with IGU say the reason for the choice was the commitment to the large outlying areas seen in the interior, and that their plan covered those areas with efficiency.
Well, if you read the decision, a lot of it had to do with who was willing to commit to a plan in the outlying areas of the community. And given that we laid out a plan, we described how we would do it, and committed to doing that seemed to be the compelling factor.
As for Fbx Natural Gas, they will be servicing areas of town, and they will likely work together with IGU in certain areas.
FNG still has an existing service area, and they have plenty of building out to do within the core of town, and likely we'll be working together across the next 3 years while we build the system out.
Stephanie Woodard, News Center 11.
Fairbanks Police Department responded to multiple accidents today due to icy conditions before the holiday rush. According to police, an accident that occurred on the Old Stees Highway and Johansson Expressway was due to failure to yield. The driver of a small Ford attempted to take a left turn quickly when a truck T-boned the vehicle, leaving it totaled. The driver of the small Ford, said to be an older male, was transported to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital. The extent of his injuries were unknown.
The pickup truck was going on Johansson eastbound. The Ford car there was turning left and failed to yield, and the pickup truck hit the car. And the driver of the Ford car was transported FMH. Slow down, give yourself extra time to turn, and make your maneuvers.
Last night, a man caused significant damage to several downtown businesses during an argument with a woman. He punched the windows at Co-op Plaza, Alaska Rare Coins and Arctic Travelers gift shop. Fairbanks police estimate the damage to be about $17,000, and Arctic Travelers was the worst hit business. The owner of the business said she needs to repair the windows immediately because they are now a serious liability. Police arrested a suspect several blocks away who matched the description.
We conducted an interview with him. He had injuries consistent with striking the window, as well as some glass shards on his clothing. Based on the investigation, we did make an arrest, and he was taken over to Fairbanks Correctional Center and booked in there.
I just hope this guy comes to his senses and realize what he's done. I just cannot imagine that the power because those were big windows. Thick panes, So, but I think it's a lot of damage. It's several $1,000s at least.
All right, when we come back, should village public safety officers be authorized to use guns? We'll have that story.
Also, Alaska Communications makes layoffs in the state. We have the details. Stay with us. And welcome back. Most members of Alaska's Village Public Safety Officer program in the interior say they should be allowed to carry firearms while on duty. The 12 VPSOS who work in the interior wear Alaska State Trooper style uniforms and are authorized to make arrests, but generally they are not allowed to carry guns. A proposed regulation change, however, would allow the officers to carry firearms and specify training for those who choose to carry them. The proposed change is open for public comment through January 17th. According to a survey, the proposed change is supported by 8 of the 12 VPSOs in the interior. A survey of residents also showed most support the idea. Existing rules say VPSOs can have guns in emergencies.
Alaska Communications has recently laid off more than 20 employees in both the Fairbanks and Anchorage areas. The telephone and internet provider laid off 27 employees last week, and it was not just local ACS workers that were included. According to ACS, the majority of those who were released were in the retail stores or contact centers, and it happened statewide. The reason for the layoffs were the company's overestimating growth and hiring too many employees in recent months.
Officials with United Way say the first deadline under the Affordable Care Act has been pushed back one more day. Anyone who enrolls tomorrow before 8 p.m. Alaska time will be insured by January 1st. People who enroll late will be insured in February. The original deadline was scheduled for December 15th, but the date was extended because of serious problems with the website. The date was extended again because there has been increased use in recent days. March 31st is the last day to enroll in a health insurance plan.
You know, I think people are forgetting that the open enrollment period is actually from October through March, and that the deadline for today or tomorrow is for your insurance to start January 1st. But you can still apply for insurance between now and March 31st.
The News Center continues our series on how the United Way of the Tanana Valley supports various agencies across the interior. News Center 11's Mike Schultz focuses tonight on Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
The mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters is to help children reach their potential through professionally supported one-to-one relationships with mentors. And that's what they've been doing for years in the Fairbanks area. Laura Wilson, Fund Development for Big Brothers Big Sisters, says the United Way plays a big role in how the organization works.
Well, it allows us to match more children with caring adults. For instance, last year, between allocations and distributions, what people have asked specifically to be given to Big Brothers Big Sisters, and then what was allocated to us through their committee, we were able to match from that alone at least 20 more kids.
I asked Laura, what kind of impact does Big Brothers Big Sisters have on the community?
Well, we have the, we have the statistics, because we have had scientific, studies done so we have the statistical numbers. 37% more likely to stay in school, 50% more likely to, all of that. But the reality is kids are more likely to finish high school, go on to higher education. They are less likely to become involved with illegal substances, alcohol and drugs and so on. But, that's the numbers, that's the statistical stuff. On a personal level, what I see is the impact of children who feel special, feel supported. And when children feel supported, they tend to make better choices.
Finally, in her years at the organization, what does Laura see as fulfillment from Big Brothers Big Sisters?
When I see them so excited to get a new Big Brother or Big Sister, when a youth comes in here, and whether they're 6 or 16, they are excited over getting to hang out with another adult. Go figure, you'd think that it was just about, hanging out with another, having more kids to hang out with, but they're excited because they know that this person doesn't have to do this. They want to hang out, and they get to have new experiences. Running into them, meeting kids that are now adults that had Big Brothers or Big Sisters when they were kids, and hearing about how it changed their life. That's cool. It makes me know that what I'm doing really, really matters.
The United Way campaign is in the final stages, but there's still time for you to donate. And remember, all contributions stay in the interior. Mike Schultz, News Center 11.
You're one busy man during this holiday season.
Yes, I am.
But you're missing something fun.
What am I missing?
You guys both.
The hat.
Oh,
okay.
I'm going to get them in the spirit. But anyways, what's going on in sports?
Well, 'tis the season for the holidays and high school basketball. I'm excited for another great season of interior basketball. And it was the second opening weekend of basketball. We have highlights and scores, plus much more in the weekend recap. I can't talk, I'm so excited.
Basketball, and more basketball when you come back. Stick around. Basketball.
And welcome back, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here with your weekend recap. On Saturday night at Boileau Hall, it was a game between the 4A and 3A state favorites to win it all in high school basketball this year. The West Anchorage Eagles entered Monroe with the win over Lathrop on Friday. And early on, it looked like West would carry that momentum with a solid first quarter. DeAndre Wilson, he had 7 points in the first as West led 13-9 after one. But Monroe got to the free throw line and regained composure after missing some shots and early turnovers. In the second quarter, it was Monroe time. David Stepovich's big and one play here gave Monroe their first lead of the game. Monroe put on the pressure and they got in transition. They outscored West 20-4 in the second and led 29-17 at halftime. West did make an 8-0 run in the third to make it a 9-point game, but the Rams responded with threes and more transition buckets. Stepovich had a game-high 21 points. Scooter Bynum had 15 crowd-energizing points as well, and Jalen McCullough, he added 10 points. Jade Zamora was the only Eagle to score double digits with 16 points. Wilson, he ended up with 7 points for the game. Monroe goes crazy and wins by 30, 75-45. Stepovich says the key to his big game wasn't his John Stockton socks, paying homage to his uncle.
We calmed down a little bit and, we bared down on defense. We got into them more and we pushed the ball. We pushed it and kept pushing. We got a lot of fast break points. This game was all over the state. People want to know what the score is, and we come out and we win. We're showing that we can play with 4A. We can be the best team in the state.
David, when he came off, I told him, I was like, you were really good. I mean, I told him, and there's a reason why you're successful. When you got to, when you work hard like that, you want to see a kid succeed and be great. And tonight, he was great. We talked about it. We want to win the glass, the free throw line, and the battle of the turnovers. And I thought that in the second quarter, we probably won all three.
And earlier on Saturday in girls basketball, the Hutchinson Hawks hosted the Wolfpack girls. It was Coach Jesse Craig's coaching debut for West Valley. It was all Hutch, though, in the first half. Ellie Veazey scored 12 of her 13 points in the first quarter. Kiana Edwards had 10 points with 2 threes as well. But Taylor Hastings, she had a team-high 21 points. The trio combined for 44 points for the Hawks. Hutchinson led 18-9 after one and were up 36-18 at halftime. But West Valley's Ruthie Hebert, Jenny Benson and the Hawks contained Hebert somewhat in the first half, but Hebert had 12 in that first half and went off for 28 in the second half for a game-high 40 points. She was 14 of 18 shooting, 11-14 from the free throw line. She didn't get much help, though, as Hutch holds on for a 61-54 win in their season opener, which is also their first win over West Valley in school history. Also over the weekend, in high school basketball season openers, North Pole split with Delta. The Patriots boys won 54-47. North Pole was down by 1 going to the fourth, but outscored the Huskies 20-12 to secure the win. Garrett Summer had a game-high 15 points, and DeAndre Campbell added 12. In the girls' game, Delta came away with the 59-30 victory. Jess Reeder and Bess Hansen both had 15 points for the Huskies. Willow Stewart led the Patriots with 11 points. In a winter air gun match hosted by USA Shooting earlier this month, UAF junior Ryan Anderson set 2 national records. Talk about a Christmas gift. In the 3 days of shooting, Anderson shot 618.5, 627.7, and 628. The day 2 and 3 scores were national best for match scores. USA Shooting uses an international scoring system with decimals. If this was an NCAA match, his raw scores would be 594, 597, and 598. Anderson has been invited to the Bavarian air gun matches in Germany in January and the USA World Cup in March in Fort Benning, Georgia. Also, Jamie Barnes finished 39th in the junior division and 54th overall, respectively. The Natics are ranked #1 in the nation going into the Christmas break. And finally, tonight we end with the I-5, the interior top 5 plays right before Christmas. 'Tis the season. At number 5, the clutch play of Cole Burner and Kyle Carlson of Lathrop both hit threes to cut a 17-point deficit to just 3 with 15 seconds to go against West Anchorage. Carlson even had a block late, but West wins 70-65. At number 4, check out the West Valley block party against Hutch as Trayvon Brackett and Charles Sutter deny shots. The Wolfpack wins 66-35 over Hutch in their opener. At number 3, a stellar individual performance for Ruthie Hebert of West Valley. Hebert scored 40 points on 14 of 18 shooting and was 11 of 14 from the free throw line in the Wolfpack 61-54 loss to Hutchinson. season. At number 2, Monroe's David Stepovich. This and one play in the second quarter gave Monroe their first lead of the game. Monroe will outscore West 20-4 in that second quarter. Stepovich had a game-high 21 points as Monroe blows out West 75-45. And at number 1, Dallin Bills of UAF with a thunderous and-one dunk to put an exclamation point on the Nanics' 84-66 win over the Northland International Pioneers on Thursday night. To select the play of the week, go to the KTVF Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages to tell us which one is the top play. It will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Stay warm, Alaska. Mike Schultz is next with your full-weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather forecast. And I hope Santa Claus has his long johns on tomorrow night because we got a lot of cold air coming our way. In fact, it could get down to 30 to 35 below tomorrow night. Merry Christmas. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. Here's our photograph for tonight. This is Gary Bystead sent this in, a little Christmas tree. 10 years ago, bought a little seedling and let it grow, and this is what's happened. It's become a very nice tree, and they decorated it very beautifully. Again, if you have a photograph to share, send it to photos@ktvf11.com, and we'll be sure and include it in our photos each night. And once again, a reminder, they're just about gone. All the free calendars are just about gone, but there's still some locations around town, including Big Daddy's Barbecue, Kindle Auto, ABC Incorporated, Golden North Optics. Those people still have photographs, or actually photos, fab photo calendars, and you can get one for a Christmas present. What's going on at the airport right now is 0 degrees. That's our high for the day, and the temperature right now, 11 below. Record high in 1985, 44 that day, 53 below in 1961. Sunrise and sunset works out to 3 hours and 44 minutes, a gain of a minute from yesterday. A gain, nice to say that. On our satellite picture, nothing going on across the interior because we have a pretty good area of high pressure just blocking all the storms and clouds out, and that's going to continue through the rest of the week, it looks like. Elsewhere across the state, a little bit of shower activity around Juneau, and that's about it there. Many clear skies, cold temperatures, and 0 degrees around the Barrow area with just a little bit of light snow falling there. Lower 48 weather, here's what it looks like heading on down there, and things are looking pretty good over the western half of the country. Not too bad in Denver, 47 degrees there. Lots of sunshine, Dallas, 46 degrees. Some snow once again returning to the Minneapolis area, rain up and down the eastern seaboard, and the satellite and radar showing a little bit of activity moving across the central plains, another system moving across the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies. And the overall jet stream once again calling for temperatures to remain very cool to the north, the jet stream, with basically nice weather over the central and southern sections of the country. Back to Alaska for tomorrow. The northern sections, flurries expected at Barrow, just partly cloudy skies in Nome, and clear and quite cold for the Fort Yukon area. The same can be said for the interior, looking at sunny skies but very cold temperatures for Healy, Delta Junction, and the Fairbanks area, while over southeast Alaska looks like rain and snow at Juneau, but rain becoming heavy in the Ketchikan area, while over to the southwest around the Bering Sea area, snow expected at Bethel, rain in Cold Bay, and 2 to 4 inches of snow in the Kodiak Island area. While over south central sections, mostly sunny skies at Anchorage and Valdez, and cloudy skies in Homer. Okay, time once again for our weather fact as the kids are on vacation. And our weather fact for tonight, in 1983, Williston, North Dakota dropped down to 50 degrees below zero. Didn't think it could only get any colder than the Fairbanks area, right? And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank, and our forecast, or actually our outlook for the kids is they're going to be out until about the 7th of January. And until then, we'll be giving you weather facts each night. Your forecast, 22 below, temperatures dropping, clouds and flurries will be ending. Tomorrow's forecast, 17 below, mostly sunny and quite frigid, and tomorrow night's low expected to be around 30 to 35 below, like I said. Wednesday will be about 19 below for the high. Thursday, even colder, but then slowly starting to warm back up again. In fact, a radical warm up by the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, as temperatures will jump back once again above the plus figures, single figures, even to 25 degrees on Sunday. Overnight lows will also be rising to around 8 degrees below zero for Saturday night. So tomorrow night's going to be kind of chilly. And we were talking, hoping that the kids could get out and play with their toys on Christmas Day. Well, they can't if they're really bundled up really good.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Okay, thank you, Mike. And before we close, we do want to mention we are working on a story of an event that occurred over the weekend. Apparently, Tesoro Station at South Cushman and Van Horn Road was robbed during the weekend. So we have more details on News Center Final that's coming up tonight at 11. So we hope you can join us then.
All right, coming up next is NBC Nightly News, a nice human interest story about window cleaners that help children in a hospital to have a little brighter of a day. That's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. We'll see you back here at 11. Have a good night.